What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chip, back here from RVA Vapes. And today we're talking about the Lyra from our new friends at Modefined. Alright guys, today we're talking about the Lyra Mod from our new friends at Modefined. It's 200 watts with a color screen and their own proprietary chipset. Very nice packaging. Now, Modefined is a sister company to Lost Vape, so you would expect a high quality mod out of those guys. And as you can see here, they do not disappoint. You also got micro USB charge cable in the box, as well as your warranty card and instruction manual. Let's go ahead and throw some batteries in this bad boy and see what's up. Now, the battery door is a little tricky. When you push it down, it's not going to automatically close. You have to slide that over manually to lock the battery door in place. There we go. And you can see the screen fires right up. 5 clicks locks it. 5 clicks unlocks it. So it's got a 3-button operation here. If you tap the center button, that opens up your settings menu. So you can set your resistance. Then you've got your date and time setting. Puff duration. You can auto lock it after a certain period of time. Your puff counter and your TCR values. And it's basically just one big menu. If you scroll all the way down, it goes to the next page, and if you scroll up, it goes up or back a page. And then you hit the fire button, it brings you back to your menu. Now, on your main screen here, if you hit your left or right buttons, those will cycle through the menu options. And then you just hit the center button to adjust them. So you got power mode, bypass mode, TCR, stainless steel, titanium, nickel, and back to regular power. And when you push the center button, that goes back out. And then that's the other way to get to your settings, is you can cycle down to the little gear menu there and hit your center button. And then you put the little arrow right next to your wattage. Select that, and then you can scroll up and down on your wattage like so. Very clean, simple menu to use. Very nice color screen. It's even got like a beveled front to it, so it kind of magnifies it a little bit like that. The overall construction of this thing is awesome. You know, we'll put it up next to the GTRS, another dual 18650. Very similar size-wise, but very clean lines to it. They are made out of an Ultim body, and that's a very high density polymer, so it's super strong but also lightweight at the same time. And this one's an amber Ultim, so you can actually see the batteries and everything down inside there. This piece right here is a G10, which is a very high strength polymer. They use it primarily for like knife blade or knife grips and pistol grips and stuff like that, so it's very high-end finish to it. And you can see Lyra, designed and manufactured by Modefined. Center 510 right there, which is a nice touch with your Allen key adjustments to it. But overall, this is a very, very high-end fit and finish to it. And you can see going through the different menu options that the screen's very quick and responsive. And it's got a good amount of features to it. I wouldn't say it has everything that I would be looking for, but overall it's got most of what you want in it. Now, the other thing that's interesting about this guy, go ahead and put a 25 mil tank on there so you can see that it doesn't overhang, and it can accommodate at least up to 28 millimeters, probably 30. So you can see it's got the tachometer style to it. As you hold the fire button, it ramps up just like a tachometer would. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 1 See it scroll up there. Very cool look to it. So, now that you've got an up-close look at it, we're going to pull back, have a vape, and talk about it. Obviously, the first thing that you notice is that wicked Ultim finish. Ultim is a high-density polycarbonate that has amazing heat properties. So it's not going to transfer any of the heat. It's a great insulator. It's kind of like Delrin on steroids, if you will. But I'm a huge fan of it. Plus, with this black accents, it looks super, super cool. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this chipset right here. So this is the senior chip from Modefined. Now, Modefined is a offshoot of Lost Vape. So any of you guys that have ever had the Lost Vape DNA stuff will know immediately that this is a very, very high quality, well-made device. But this is something that they're trying to do a little bit more budget conscious, because the DNA stuff is not in everybody's budget, obviously. So these guys, they've priced much, much better. And it's the same kind of build quality, fit, and finish that you're used to from their super high-end stuff, but at a much more affordable price. And it gives you their new chipset, the senior chip, and that performs outstanding. Before the second click is even taking place, you can hear it already firing up. Super, super, super quick ramp up. So this chip is right up there with the drag as far as ramp up goes, and it's instantaneous. The next thing that we're going to talk about is this beautiful color screen. As you can see there, it's got the little speedometer gauge deal on it. We showed you all the ins and outs. It's a fairly simple user interface, which is cool. A lot of the higher end stuff can be a little bit more convoluted and harder to deal with, but this one is spot on. This one is definitely made for an everyday vapor. You don't have to have a engineering degree or anything like that to be able to use this. This guy is perfect. It does offer all the temperature control suites. You've got 200 watts of power with the dual 18650. Let's do a little size comparison here. So this is up against the GTRS, and you can see width-wise it's a little bit skinnier, although it is a slight bit taller, right about the same. And then width-wise you can see right about the same. 89.5 millimeters this way, 48 millimeters this way, and then 30.7 millimeters this way. So those 30 mil tanks will fit on there nice and flush. You've also got the dual 18650s, which give you 200 watts, the stainless steel 510, and the nickel plated brass center pin, which is spring loaded. And you also have the battery sled that we showed you on the up close portion. The switch right here is a little bit hard to manage, but I think they did that for longevity, so I'd rather have it a little harder in the beginning and last longer than have it super easy and then just fall apart or break. So kudos to them. And then you've even got this little piece of G10 right here, which is a very, very nice touch. To me, it almost has kind of like a snakeskin look to it, but it's super durable and it just looks really, really cool. Now they do have a couple of different color options for this guy. This Ultim with black is definitely my favorite, but I'm going to throw up the other colors right now. So you can see with any of those, it's not a bad choice. They're all very well done, very classy looking, and they're all the same materials. The zinc alloy metal on the top, the frame, and the bottom, and the Ultim for the body itself. Now, it does have charging through the micro USB right here. It's a 1 amp max, so it's not going to be your rapid charge, but I like to see 1 amp personally a little bit better. It's a little bit more stable, and it's not going to over exert your batteries so that you're draining the overall life of them. Because if you charge at 2 amps for the entire life of your battery, they're going to wear out faster than if you charge at a half amp or 1 amp. So that's a nice touch, even though it may not be everybody's favorite. So now that you know the specs on this guy, we're going to talk about it a little bit, and I'm going to give you my take on it. Other part of the screen that I want to point out is, if you notice, it's a little bit of a rounded acrylic. I don't think it's glass. It's some sort of acrylic type, but it's rounded, so it gives you almost like a magnified screen version, which the screen is already huge at 1.3 inches, but it just gives it that nice bold in your face look and really sets off the overall presentation and screen readability very, very well. For being such a big screen, the stuff that's put, the information that's on it is very easy to read. A lot of times with screens, especially the color ones, it seems like they're trying to hide the stuff that you really want to see just so to show off the screen itself. But this one was done very well, and it's super easy to read all the information on there, as you can see. Now it does have the clock mode. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the clock mode on anything, but you got to do something with all that screen, so I get it. Now, the feel in the hand is superb. It almost reminds me of like the SX Mini feel, where it's got that contoured kind of ergonomic design. Whereas with these, it's not contoured per se, but because it is rounded completely like that, it just fits super nice in the hand. And even though it's mostly Ultim with the batteries in it and the zinc alloy tops and bottom caps, it still has a nice solid feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap at all, and it feels like a substantial piece of equipment, if you will. So we talked about the build construction, we talked about the screen, the chipset, the overall feel, the ramp up. The last thing we're going to talk about is performance. I know you guys want to know, Modefined is a fairly new company. It is Lost Vape manufactured, just under a different brand, so the performance is outstanding. You saw the ramp up speed, it's super fast. The user interface is awesome, very easy to use, and it pushes every bit of that 200 watts. I got my Blitzen tank on here, and it's got a dual nichrome build. I believe it's the alpha braids, so you've got kind of a braided thing going on there. This tank is phenomenal for flavor. If you build it right and put the coils right up against those airflow slots on the side there, then you get tons and tons of flavor. But the performance side of it is this thing hits hard. It hits exactly the wattage it says it's going to, if not a little bit more. I don't have an oscilloscope and all that fancy stuff like Basardo does, but I can tell you just based on personal experience, 75 watts on this thing is harder than 75 watts on most of your Chinese manufactured stuff. So this thing is definitely a knocker. Overall, we're going to pull back and give you the final verdict on it. The price point is great, the fit and finish is great, the performance is great, and it even just looks so damn sexy. So all in all, this has got to be one of the best mods that we've reviewed so far. The Lyra Mod from Modefined gets 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. If you want to pick yours up, we're going to throw our coupon code up right here so that you can get yours for 10% off at shop.rvavapes.com. Now, we vaped it. Only other thing to do is get out of here. We try to keep these short and sweet. Thank you guys for watching our review. Please subscribe to our channel and click the little bell so that you get notifications. We do upload videos every Saturday, so make sure you check us out and see all the other good stuff we've got. Every review comes with a discount code, so if you're interested in any of the devices or tanks or anything that we're showing, please watch the video. You can get your discount code. That being said, if you want to smoke, that's your business. If you want to quit, you know where we're at.